I bought myself a new pen. It's a brush pen. Hopefully this will end my quest for the perfect brush pen, because it's actually a good brand for a change. So this brush pen is a Kuretake, or a Kuretake, or however you pronounce it, made in Japan. Looks pretty nice. And it contains a water-based pigment ink, which is also light fast. Big plus there. Oh yes. Established 1902. Well, I've been working on this for over 100 years, so it better be good. Now, before I open this brush pen and start proclaiming that's probably the greatest brush pen ever made, I should probably give you some kind of reference. I will show you all the brush pens that I'll be comparing it to give you some context, just in case I seem to like it a bit too much. So these are all the brush pens that I currently own. Not including this one, of course. All of these were basically made in China, except for maybe this one, which might be Japanese, because I bought it from that Daiso shop, whatever it's called. And this was basically the first one I bought. And I bought it for about $2.80. And I'd say it works pretty well. And even though I bought it probably years ago, I've been constantly refilling the thing full of fresh ink. And it's been quite effective. I've always enjoyed drawing with it. But it really fails in the area of doing fine detailed work. Basically it starts at this thickness. And then, you know, whatever's next. And then I think I bought this one next. This is not an ink brush pen, this is actually a water brush pen. And I decided to fill it full of ink one day. And I regretted it ever since, because the ink flow is really, really bad. It's either too inky or it's not inky enough. Then I think I got this one. This one I just ordered from China. You know, you can buy them off eBay or AliExpress or something. This one's quite nice. I do enjoy this one. I filled this one full of fountain pen ink, Parker Quink ink. And it's quite effective. But the Quink ink is not light fast, and it's not waterproof. So, and then I bought this one. Now, out of all the brush pens I have purchased from China, this thing is by far the best. I've actually put an ink wash on this so I can do like shading and stuff, like so. But it has this enormous piston in it. And you can fit such a ridiculous amount of ink in here. It's crazy. And it is capable of some thinnish lines. Like it's not like super thin, really. But the ink flow is quite good. And it has rubber seals basically all over the thing to stop it from leaking even when the pen cap is on. And then I got this one. It looks like a knockoff of like a Lamy fountain pen. And I have no ink in this one, so clearly it's not my favourite. And it contains no rubber seals on the thing either. It always comes with a nice fountain pen piston converter though, which was good. Open this up. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm even excited about the least exciting part of it. Let's get rid of that. Oh, I get to touch it. Interesting. this enormous ink reservoir is actually, it feels slightly rubberized, which is nice. I reckon I could hold this in any part and still get pretty good amount of grip. Now let's have a look at the bristly goodness in here. Oh, very nice. Soft. Now, according to this, I need to unscrew this. No ink is coming out. Ah, I see. It's sealed right there. Sealed at the top. Then I need to remove this yellow ring. And the only purpose of this yellow ring is just to stop it from the ink from leaking out in postage, basically. And then I can screw this back on, which will break the seal. And then I just push. Do I? I guess I push. I guess that means push in Japanese. Don't know. Let's push. 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 Come on, I'm pushing. Don't see any ink coming out. Come on, ink. I can hear something happening there. Oh, give it a bit of a shake. Come on. Don't tell me there's no ink in there. This thing's meant to be brand new. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, I see ink. Oh yes. Man, it takes a lot of persuasion to get that ink out. Oh, look. The first signs of ink. Oh, come on, come on. Yes, yes. Oh, I was too eager. That was a bit of a waste. Come on. Oh, yes, it's happening. It's happening. Oh, yeah. I think I'm beginning to like this already. Okay, now it's time to test this wonderful new brush pen I have. Oh yeah. We're going to see what is the thinnest line we can make with this brush pen. So I'm going to go real gentle. It's pretty thin. This may require some practice. Okay, that's enough. So if I look really, really carefully, about 1/3 of a millimeter it looks like. So let's test it with a fine line pen, which actually does claim it's 1/3 of a millimeter. Looks about right. Slightly thicker than 1/3 of a millimeter. Probably halfway between 0.3 and 0.5 millimeters. So that's the thinnest line it can make. Now what about the thickest line? Amazing. That's insanely thick. Still maintains a pretty good ink flow by using the entire brush. Astounding. Maybe it really did take them 100 years to make this pen. No, that is black. That is some black ink. So it looks like it can go to about 0.4 millimeters thick to about, what's that, like half a centimeter or something? Crazy. Wow. I have here a cheap watercolor sketch pad. So I'm going to draw some squares, maybe. Now we're going to colour them in using watercolor. Start off with some red. Don't see any bleeding from the ink, not much. Okay, let's try some green. Some yellow. Yellow is a very light colour. So when I paint over all of these lines, if there's going to be any bleeding, I should see it now. Oh, okay, there is a slight amount of bleeding there. Just here, you see it? Smudgy. So I think what we're seeing here is we're not seeing the ink dissolve, but it's a pigment ink, so it's not going to dissolve in water after it's dry. What is going to happen though, if there's a great big mound of pigment ink on the surface of the paper, and then you apply water and a brush over the top of it, it may move some of that pigment around still if it hasn't sunk in to the paper, basically. So if I really work on it, I can get it. It looks a bit dirty now, doesn't it? Like that. But if you compare it to an ink that actually is water soluble, like the fountain pen ink, so I'll draw a square. So this ink actually is water soluble. Let's have a look. See, look at that. Look at the difference. The lines have almost completely gone. So in conclusion, I do really like this brush pen. I also tried it out with alcohol markers. I just vigorously put alcohol marker all over the lines I made here, and it performed quite well there too. So happy with that. When I was making those 0.4 millimeter lines earlier, I can't say they would be easy to reproduce unless you're drawing like a straight line constantly. But 1 millimeter or slightly under than 1 millimeter is very easy to make. So the only thing I have against this brush pen is that it's not refillable. You can buy ink cartridges for it, but it's not designed to put your own ink into it. But I can't see anything that would actually prevent me from doing so if I tried really hard. Maybe I'll do that later. Yes, I'm all about saving $1 or $2.